Hello and welcome to the Perth Blue Baggers pod. This is episode 30 and today we will be reviewing our round 13 win against the Essendon Bombers. And then we'll be doing our preview of the West Coast game over here in Perth, which we are very much looking forward to. Can't wait. So, let's go into this round 13 nail-biting win, and honestly, there was quite a few negatives and probably still some positives as well. Yeah.
Well, the biggest positive is we got the win.
Yeah.
That's the extraordinary thing. Look, I think relief is the emotion that comes to mind.
True.
Sometimes you got to win ugly, and we desperately needed the 4 points. At 4 and 7 coming in, we desperately needed to get to 5-7. We've got 2 to 3 winnable games coming up, but then a tougher draw, of course. I mean, you're going to play some tougher teams eventually. So this was really important for us. And we got out of the gates really well. Like that first quarter was one of the best quarters that I've seen from Colton all year.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic quarter, 6 goals. Everything clicked. The things that we said we wanted to work on, delivery of the ball inside 50, quick ball movement, looking for the right option, we were just nailing them all.
Yeah.
The only problem is that it didn't really happen after quarter time.
Yeah.
We played one really good quarter, one exceptionally good quarter that we won the game off, really, and they outscored us for each of the remaining quarters. And the thing is, to be honest, I don't really rate the Bombers as a great team.
No.
So if we're getting outscored by the Bombers 3 quarters out of 4, we've got some real problems to still resolve. But at the end of the day, we got the 4 points, which we're pleased about, and I was pleased that there was just enough big moments in that last quarter that kept us in front.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that would be the assessment, but I think that we're very much an unfinished product, and we've got a lot of work to do to get us to where we should be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was, like I said, really good first quarter. That, by contrast, that early part of the third quarter, we were just a mess and a rabble. We're getting smashed in the midfield. They kicked 4 goals, I think, on us. Look, we're in free fall. We did steady in the back half of the third, which was pleasing to see. And we kicked a couple of early goals in the fourth, which is good, just as well, because we needed them.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of our run late again. We just looked pretty rattled, but we just had enough big moments like Doherty's, big mark at the very, very end. And, Blake Acres kicked a fantastic goal.
There was a few chances where we could have iced it. I think Acres and Motlop had a chance to sort of seal the game.
And Charlie had a kick that didn't even make the distance.
Yeah.
That was disappointing to see us miss opportunities.
So it could have ended on a good note there, but probably because those players took 30 seconds out, that was what was crucial, to slowing down any sort of time they could actually score. And we were actually able to rebound with clearance work in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I think that on the whole, I reckon we had a lot of the better. We were pretty good when it came to clearances. Generally speaking, we tend to win clearances. This one was very even. If you looked at the stats early on, we're dominating clearances, but they had a lot better. They had the better of the clearances late.
Yeah.
That's despite our ruckman totally dominating their ruckman. So, there's some work to do on that to ensure that we're getting the best benefits out of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was probably relief to get over the line.
Very much so. So there was a bit more of an all-round team effort, I thought, this game. So actually I found giving votes quite hard.
Yeah, it was tricky. It was the 5-4-3-2-1 was tricky, and I always go my own way on these things. I always pick out some people that really kind of shone maybe a bit more than usual. So my five votes went to TDK. I think he absolutely dominated in the ruck and around the ground as well. He had 10 score involvements, which was the most on the ground. But generally, he was very dominant. He 8 inside 50s. He dominated the hitouts. He took some great marks around the ground as well. He's you name it, he was amongst it. I thought, and they were contested grabs too. Big moments. He was clearly a big part of that first quarter when he won the game, and he stood up in some key moments later on as well.
Yeah.
So probably the only thing, like I said, and this is not all on TDK, it's on everyone in that midfield group, is getting the most out of his dominance.
Yep. Especially against Goldstein, who's a bit slow, probably not at his best.
Yeah. So that was my 5 votes. Silvani. Silvani was superb again.
Yep.
Again, his stats won't show it. 17 touches, 10 kicks, 6 marks, but we had some moments there. We were under a lot of pressure. Caddy's a bit of an up-and-coming forward, and he was all over him like a rash. I think the only time I saw Caddy do something helpful was just a rank kick off the ground, sunk the boot into it, landed in his teammate's lap.
So lazy. I wouldn't be proud of that.
No, it's a really low percentage. Yeah. Really low percentage. So I thought Silvani had the better of him all day, really. And, his renaissance as a backman is just astonishing to see. So he was superb all day. 3 votes. This might surprise you a little bit. Jesse Motlop.
Yay.
I thought he was outstanding. Just his sheer effort. He willed himself into contest after contest, particularly early. But he was pretty solid. I know he missed a shot, and his critics will talk about how he missed the shot late. And he hasn't had a great season overall. But in fact, I wasn't even sure he should have been picked.
Yeah. Same.
But hats off. Like, he made the most of his opportunity. He was really good. He
was everywhere as well.
He was. A lot of those things won't come. Those pressure acts, they won't all be on the stat sheet, but they were really good. He laid 5 tackles. That's the lot we want to see. It wasn't just the 2 goals that he kicked. It was the fact that he had so many score involvements.
2 goal assists.
Yeah, 2 goal assists and the other score involvements. There was one superb piece where he set up TDK, I think it was. Who did he set up? He just
handballed off to Charlie.
Someone else got the cheap goal, but it was Jesse Motlop's skills on the ground. He also took a mark that was kind of... There was another poor kick inside 50 in the third quarter, I think it was. That's when we were a real mess. We're just missing our targets. And he swooped on it and marked it when no one expected him to. It came in from the side. So how did he pull that off? And he kicked the goal when we really needed it. So, there was he was great, really. 2, I thought Adam Chera, even though he got smacked around, that horrific sort of front-on act that deserved a suspension.
Yeah.
I thought he was great all day, and it's not that he had the most touches. I think there's a few others that had more touches than him, like Walsh and Hewitt. But I thought Chera had a lot of impact.
Yeah.
With his work, and he's had a pretty good season, and he continued. So I was really happy with Chera's game. 2 votes for mine, and 1 vote, yes, again in a slightly different direction, but I'm giving it to Haynes. I thought he was fantastic again. He was just another really solid player all game. And you looking at those 3 in particular, Silvani, Haynes, and of course Wiedering, they're a big part of why we stay in games.
Yeah.
And in that third quarter, I thought our backman was standing up really well when it could have been a lot worse.
Those intercept marks, I think we were going at, it would have been, can you see how many intercept marks there was?
I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Oh,
okay.
Yeah, while we're doing it. So
Team stats.
Silvani had the most on the ground with 10, and Haynes had 7.
Intercept possessions.
Yeah, intercept. Oh, maybe you can find the intercept marks. But it was an impressive game. He's just been so solid down back. He really has been. Recruit of the year for us, at least, anyway.
Yes.
Look, some special mentions. I had underrated. I had the Fog. I thought he was great. Look, the thing is, again, he's not a guy that's going to show up a lot on your stat sheet, I reckon, Fogarty.
Nope.
But he does all those little things. The pressure acts again that he does. That's the part that I'm a big fan of from our forward line. I reckon we win games when our forwards put the pressure on.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see Charlie do it a bit more. And I've seen Harry when he's in full flight, mowing down, tackling opponents, etc. But two of the guys that do it well, two of the guys that did it well this game was Fogarty and Motlop. So I wanted to acknowledge that in mine. And as you say, look, there's a lot of... It was a fairly even performance, so there's quite a few people you could have given votes to.
Yes. Can't find the intercept mark count on the AFL.com.au, but something I did find was we went at 50% efficiency inside 50, much better than 43.6%. Still, I think we could do better than that, or we should do better than that, but yeah, although disposal efficiency was down again at 67.4 compared to their 70. It was a winter game, of course, so you would expect skill levels to be a little down nowadays as they try and adjust to these colder, wetter conditions. In fact, there was meant to be rain, but I don't think there was much rain.
No, I don't recall there being rain.
No.
Really? No.
So, I didn't play as what we thought, but... well, I'll go into my votes, of course. So, mine do differ a little bit. So, I gave JSOS with 5 for being an absolute brick wall, especially in that third quarter when the supply going into the back line was a lot to handle. I also gave Chera 4. Alleviated him a bit more because I thought he was massive late.
Yep.
Very impactful late. Helped set out Zach Williams' goal, which was pivotal. I got TDK for 3 votes. I probably put him a little bit more down just because it was over Goldstein, but he still had a good impact around the ground, of course. Ollie Hollands also thought he was quite good late. Lifted, and he was very composed. I could have given this 1 vote to anyone, really. Hewitt, I gave for 1 vote. So, George Hewitt had 29 disposals, 9 tackles, 8 score involvements, 450 metres gained, and 8 inside 50s. So, and 28 pressure acts. So, nothing unusual from him this season, really.
No.
So, there was a few underrated gave Motlop. Yep. He was significantly improved. Walsh, stiff. Doherty, didn't go into him, he was good. 26 disposals, 13 marks, 8 rebound 50s, 467 metres gained, and 4 score involvements.
He's a funny guy, Doherty, because he was sloppy with his disposals early. And in that third quarter when we weren't doing well, I think he turned the ball over a few times then. But he always gives you 100%. And late in the game, I think he stood up and he kept on running at it. And then, of course, that big intercept mark of his late. So, that's the lion-hearted Doherty for you. He may not be in his best form this year, but it never stops him giving 100%.
I'm glad he's playing in his usual role down back.
He's probably better, I think, at back.
Akers was a bit hit and miss. It's an unreal goal, but then he misses, and then he fumbles a few times everywhere. So 29 disposals, 8 marks, 7 score involvements, 456 metres gains, and 5 inside 50s. He was going at 50% efficiency.
The problem.
Shocking.
I mean, there's 2 sides to the Akers coin. One, the good and the bad. The good is the effort, and he just kept on running at it, and
you can't deny that.
You can't deny that. He gave a lot, and that's where he gets a lot of metres gained. He was in it the whole way through, and I think that's gutsy. The thing was, he did butcher the ball or did turn the ball over.
Yeah.
He made mistakes, etc. Look, I'd rather the guy that throws himself into everything and makes the odd error than the guy not putting the effort in, I guess.
Yeah, fair. And then, so Akers, okay. Bit more of it, he improved since we sort of asked of him.
Yeah. I think we've been a bit frustrated with his ball usage.
Obviously, Haynes stiff to miss out with his 543 meters gain, 6 rebound, 50 11 marks, and 17 disposals. Also for Zach Williams was pretty good. 15 disposals, 8 score involvements, 2 goal assists, 2 goals. Pretty inside 50s for free clearances.
Just on Zach, we're a better team when Zach Williams is playing.
Yeah.
And we've really missed him. So he's missed quite a few games with injury. We need to keep him fit and keep him on the park. Because a bit like Hollands, he's a bit of an X factor. And, he's a bit of a chaos man. With the ball hits the ground in the forward line, you don't know what to expect. He pops up. And he's got a bit of pace on him too.
Yeah.
I think. And I think he brings other people into the game. So he's a very handy player and he was exceptionally good early as well. I know he kicked that goal where he signalled to the crowd late, but he was very lively early.
That's the way you do it. Point to the crowd, not to the
taunt your opponents.
Yeah. Learn, Ginnivan, learn. So, also have Cooper Lord, who he probably could have got it underrated as well.
Yeah, just continues to have a solid season, Cooper Lord. 21 touches. I mean, and I like this guy's the tackling well as well. Another 4 tackles from him.
Yep. And 5 intercepts and 4 score involvements and 3 rebound 50s. Sam Walsh had more of an impact in the first quarter. I think he got 6 of his 7 score involvements in that first quarter and most of his clearances in the first. But he still racked up the disposals, so he didn't he didn't go missing as much, just didn't have as much impact. Who else I got? Ollie Holland's stats. I mentioned him in the votes earlier, but he had 23 disposals, 10 marks, 7 score involvements, 411 metres gained, 4 inside 50s, and something like 15.5 kilometres, Ryan, I think.
He did cover a lot of turf.
Yeah.
And he's another guy who gives you everything, Ollie.
Yeah, and he's said he's loving his roll down back, so that's all you really need, I guess, as long as he likes his roll. Then that's good to see. What did you make of Mitch McGovern's role?
I think I prefer him down back.
Yeah.
I reckon if you're looking for another tall up forward, you throw TDK up forward. I mean, they're playing Hudson O'Keefe, right? Who's a ruckman. And I would have put Hudson O'Keefe at times in the ruck and moved TDK up forward. And I think he's the better option. He's got that massive leap. He's got that big grab on him, etc. Yeah. McGovern looks slightly out of place up there. He hasn't played a lot lately. I think he missed a couple of opportunities along the way as well. I think I prefer him down back.
Yeah, I mean, he still had a bit of an impact, so a bit. 8 score involvements is pretty good with 2 goal assists and a goal himself and 4 inside 50s. So, I mean, it wasn't a fail of a game.
Was he down forward all the way?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I just didn't notice him. I don't know.
I just sort of noticed he missed an opportunity or two early, but he kicked a goal early, but I think it was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, probably.
For that particular goal. Yeah. Maybe I've missed a fin. Maybe we're being a bit harsh.
I don't know. We'll see how his role transpires over the next few weeks. They might decide to keep him there. Who knows? Hudson O'Keefe, so the debutant.
We haven't spoken about him, have we?
5 contested marks. That was great. Apparently they needed 6 or something to break the record or equal it. So, I think he was impressive.
I really liked what I saw of him.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like Harry O'Farrell last week. They'll be better for the run and for the opportunity. We don't know if Harry will play next week. And if he doesn't, I think Hudson should keep his spot. If he does, I think that's just the nature of the pecking order.
Yeah.
At the moment. But I was just pleased to see him get his opportunity. It did take some really good grabs.
Mm-hmm.
Some really good grabs.
And it was a hard shot on goal to get for his first, but if he stays on the team for West Coast, I reckon he'll get one.
Yeah, no, I think
on-demand
he should
defence.
He should be really pleased with that first game of AFL footy.
Yep. So
Showed a bit.
Lot to like for that. I think I covered all of our
No,
most
you did
notable
cover
players.
You cover off on a lot of players there.
Which is good to see. And they weren't just... They were all around the ground. Midfielders, defenders, and sort of forwards. The main forward who probably disappointed again was Charlie Curnow.
Yeah.
Only kicking the two goals.
Again, I think he was better early than he was late. Yeah, and his shot on goal, he didn't take... I'd like to see a bit more, pressure and chasing there as well. I think there was one point where we had 2-on-1 and the one beat our two. And I think Charlie might have been involved in that one. Seizing the moments. We want him to seize the moment late in the game, and he had an opportunity to do that. He had probably a couple of opportunities to do that there. And look, maybe it just hasn't fallen into place for him. Yeah. But it'd be really good. Did you mention Hewitt a little bit? Yeah, he was good.
Okay, on the votes.
Yeah, he was good. Look, the other guy I haven't really mentioned much is his first game back, Alex Tincotta.
Oh yeah.
Look, on the one level, he didn't touch the ball very much. I think he might have only had 3 touches. But he was on Merritt, who's one of Essendon's best players, and he held Merritt to 14 touches. I mean, Merritt was barely seen all game, and that's a role that he plays. It's a role that few of our other players can play. We've not really got many other. The one other guy that used to tag a bit was George Hewitt, but George is winning that so much of the footy these days. I think you just let him loose.
Yeah.
So we need that kind of player. And if you think back to one or two others, we had a fairly tight loss to Sydney when Isaac Heaney went nuts on us. That's the kind of player you need Chin-Potter to shut down. So I hope he gets a few more jobs like this coming up.
I wonder if he keeps his spot, and I wonder if he does keep his spot, who will get this weekend. So I guess that's a good segue to go into the game. Against West Coast over here and at Optus. We have a very good record here. We average a 77 or something, 76 point margin win against West Coast in the past 5 games. Look, you can't take them lightly, of course. Don't want to be complacent. And no doubt they'll probably want to do the majority of the crowd well, although it still will be made of a significant portion of Carlton fans, I reckon.
Well, we are the Perth Blue Baggers, so I can tell you we'll be there, and we're very excited, very looking forward to it. It's a Blue Bag is not here all that often, so we're very, very excited, and I think it's going to be a great game for us. I think that the boys can't take West Coast for granted.
No.
West Coast have been a bit more competitive lately. They were probably a bit stiff to lose last week. They're poor kicking. I think kicked 6-16 last week.
Yeah, efficiency.
Yeah.
So, just like us.
Yeah, so, but look, on paper and on form and on ability, we should be winning this very well.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting us to. I'm expecting us to work very hard and get ourselves back in shape in this game. It is the right opponent at the right time for us.
Yeah. Really.
So we need them. But like I said, you've got to put the work in. I think there's some interesting things here. I would like to see Jim Cotter get another game because he's only had 1 game back. And when he's tagging well, that adds another dimension to our team. You don't want too many taggers. You only probably need 1 or 2 guys playing a defensive role. But you do need to have someone who can do that. And even in the poorer teams, there are some stronger players. Does he go to Harley Reid?
Yeah, I was going to suggest that.
I think he's one obvious opponent for him.
Most impactful, probably.
Yeah, certainly someone who can if you let him get off the leash. He's also a guy that a tag might rattle.
Yeah.
So,
he hasn't done well with tags.
No. So I'd definitely be playing him, giving him another run. If Harry doesn't come up, I'd be playing Hudson O'Keefe again.
Yeah.
I think it's an opportunity to get a few games into players like that as well.
And don't rush Harry, by the way. We, don't want him under.
No, he shouldn't come back underdone.
No.
But having said that, he's missed a fair bit of footy already. He probably needs time on the ground.
Some people saying that we play better without him and over Charlie.
Nonsense.
Just forget it.
Nonsense.
You're brutally delusional.
Yeah.
You need him to mark down the ground, and look, Charlie was forced to sort of do that sort of role last game, I think, in the last quarter, when really he should have probably been behind a bit more, ready for marking contests. So, look, I would prefer to have both of them in, and I prefer to keep them both and don't trade them.
Yeah, no, I think they're both
keep reinforcing that throughout
both
this
great
year.
players. So, what we want to see is that first quarter.
Yeah.
We want to see them moving the ball well. We want to see them choosing good options inside 50. We want to see them making the most of their inside 50s.
If we do a good start, I think it will, sort of decrease West Coast morale. They're not very good at making a comeback this season, I think.
Yeah, I think we get the jump on them.
Yeah.
I think we can really crush them, and we could do with a good win.
If we can beat them with undermanned side like last year, surely, and that was by 60 points, surely
that was virtually a seconds team.
Yeah.
That day. I think it was like 15 or 16 players out or something ridiculous.
Yeah, so.
Like that. Yeah.
Surely.
But I mean, like I said, you can't take these any team for granted.
No.
And it'll be interesting to see.
Well, so they got the likes of Liam Ryan in the forward line, so he's pretty potent. So hopefully we keep him under control. Also they got Gibney will probably be their best defender, so he'll probably go on Charlie. Baker's half back. He's been pretty solid. Graham's been in the midfield.
And Oscar Allen he had a good day last week as well. But I mean, these are guys that you'd expect Wiedering, Silvani, and Haynes to handle.
Without backline, I don't think it will be a problem.
So yeah, we're really looking forward to it. We'll be at the game. All you Blue Baggers,
Camfield,
get into it
for it.
Yeah, probably. We'll probably see you at the Camfield before.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully, we get a win and it will be good to see a game, and then we can actually look at sort of our planning and see, more of the game tactics. It's different watching off the TV, so we can see, whether there are options. Inside 50 and stuff like that,
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing from a bit of an
running.
elevated viewpoint how they're moving the footy and how they're going about it.
Yep. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe as usual, and follow us on Instagram. Catch you next week, and hopefully it will be a very positive review. Cheers. Up the Baggers.
Calm the Blues.